Hi everyone and welcome to the week 3 kidney and bladder meridian sequence, intermediate version. So if you used a rolled up towel for the beginner version, you might still want to use it for today's version. So just have your rolled towels nearby. You might even like to sit on the towel to lift your hips up. We'll start in a comfortable seated position, lengthening through the spine and dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Arriving in your body and watching the breath. And then bringing to mind an intention for your practice. Holding that intention in your mind, bring the hands in prayer at the heart. And we'll open with a chant of Om together. Inhale through the nose. Releasing the hands, slowly opening the eyes. And then bringing the soles of the feet to touch. This is where you can place the rolled up towels under your knees for a bit of support, for if your inner groin's tight. And we're going to take butterfly pose as a forward fold for this variation, so you can move the flesh out from under your sit bones. Inhale to lengthen the spine. And then exhale, just folding forward, dropping into the pose. You can bring the hands with the palms touching to mirror the shape of the feet, resting forearms on the mat. If that's too much, you can bring the forearms to the lower legs. And just softening the back of the neck, letting the head be heavy here. And watching the breath. Sending the breath right down into the pelvic bowl, feeling it move all the way from your upper back down to the middle back, lower back, and filling up the pelvis. Softening through the hip sockets. Imagining that the bones of the pelvis and the legs are made of lead. So just allowing them to be really heavy, sinking down towards the support of the earth. Using the breath to find a little more space wherever you need it. As you commit to your stillness here, just observing all of the sensations present in the body. Noticing what happens to the mind as we experience strong sensation or discomfort, which can be normal as we hold these poses for a bit longer. And using the breath to soften from the inside. Directing the breath right into the muscles of the inner groin, or maybe the sacrum, the hips, to find a little bit more space. Just one more breath here now. And then inhale, slowly come on up. Interlace the fingers behind the head, inhale, look up. Exhale, tuck the chin to the chest, rounding through the spine. Inhale, look up. Exhale, round. One more with the breath. And then coming onto your knees, bring the crown of the head down to the mat. Interlace the fingers behind the head and you can just roll along the top of the head here. Working that deep stretch through the back of the neck. And then coming to stillness. You might like to put a towel under your head as you interlace the fingers and reach the arms back, coming right onto the crown of the head, so you're distributing the weight down through the skull here. One more breath. And release. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. And then inhale, lifting the right leg up. Exhale, step it through, low lunge. Downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step it through, inhale, low lunge. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then finding your stillness here in downward facing dog. Committing to your alignment here. We're just going to stay for about 3 breaths. Focusing on lengthening the spine so the neck is long. Sit bones are lifted. Finding some space through the backs of the legs. Last breath. And then inhale, the right leg lifts. Exhale, step it through. Back toes 45 degrees. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step it through. Crescent lunge, inhale. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now look between the hands. Inhale. And exhale, step, walk or jump to the front of the mat and fold. The feet can be hip width apart here. And just tuck the hands under the soles of the feet, bending the knees. Breathing space between the vertebrae, letting the head just be heavy. Inhale, look up. Exhale, bowing forward. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold. One more. Exhale to fold. Releasing the hands, walking the feet back, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lowering down. Inhale, up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale. Inhale, lifting the right leg up. Exhale, step it through and then hop the back foot to about 2/3 of the way up the mat. Bring the hands to the hips and using your core, tucking the right hip back. Inhale to come up. And then you can take reverse namaskar, prayer behind your back, or reach around for your elbows. Inhale here, and then exhale, folding over that leg. If you like, you can release the hands if this shoulder position is not working for you. Keep pressing through the feet, drawing the thighs towards the midline to help maintain your balance. Sending the breath like a river down the back of that right leg. Working that bladder meridian here. One more breath. And then releasing the hands. Bending that front knee, and then turning the right toes towards the outside edge of your mat, so that they're about 45 degrees. And letting that knee move out to the right side while keeping your foot flat on the mat, and then coming down onto your forearms. You might like to use your towel here, if you want a bit of extra height. And keeping that back leg lifted. If it's too much, you can always drop the knee. But for a more active variation of the lizard lunge, we're pressing back through that left heel, activating the left quad. And then just settling in here for about 3 more breaths. And then inhale, coming up. Exhale, stepping back to plank. Activating your core here, inhale. And then exhale, lowering down. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, sweep it through. And then hop that back foot forward. Inhale, press through the feet, hands on hips, come on up. And then finding reverse namaskar or grabbing either elbow. Inhale here. And exhale, folding forward over that left leg. Keep tucking the left hip back and drawing the right hip forward. So you're squaring your pelvis to the back wall here. Each inhalation lengthens the spine. And exhale, folding deeper over that leg. And then releasing the hands. Bending that front knee, walking the right toes back. And then walking the left foot out towards the edge of the mat. The knee drops away from the midline, but the sole of the foot presses flat. Toes are at 45 degrees. And then coming down for your lizard lunge. Bringing your awareness to the inside of that left leg. This is the kidney meridian. From the inner groin, through the inner thigh, down the inner knee. All the way down the lower leg to the sole of the foot. Relaxing the face and the hinge of the jaw. One more breath here. And then inhale to come on up. Step back to plank. Inhale here. Exhale, lower. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, plank. And exhale, lowering all the way down to the mat. We're going to take Sphinx pose now. So the forearms come to the mat. Fingers are spread wide so the whole palm is flat. I'm just trying to relax and soften through the lower body here. Allow the bones of the arms to support you to lift up the sternum, lengthening up out of the shoulders and then just dropping the chin to the chest. We're here for about a minute. So just drawing your mind to your breath. Dropping into the body. Keep that action of lifting up out of the shoulders, but then allowing the neck to soften. The sternum keeps moving forward between the heads of the shoulders. And then softening the periphery of the pose to find your ease here. Just 3 more breaths. Slowly releasing down, bring the hands either side of the body and pressing back to child's pose. You can make the knees nice and wide, reach the hands forward. And then inhale, come on up. Swing the legs out to the side and reaching them out in front of you. Coming to sit right on the edge of your sit bones. Again, if you've got a towel, you might like to fold it to put it under your sit bones here. That's going to help to tilt the pelvis forward for our forward bend. So the feet can be hip width apart. Inhale to feel that length in the spine. And as you exhale, keeping that length and starting to fold forward. I like to turn my palms up so that I'm not tempted to pull myself into the pose. We really don't want to round the back here. Trying to keep a bit of length and then just dropping the chin to the chest. Sending the breath to the back of the body, so the upper back, middle back, lower back, maybe the sacrum all across the back of the pelvis. Wherever you need a little bit more space. And remembering again your intention for your practice. Dedicating these last 8 breaths to your intention. And then inhale, slowly walking the hands back up. And then sliding the hips forward, coming down to lay on your back for shavasana. Softening the ankles, arms beside the body, palms face up. And just taking a couple of minutes here in your shavasana to integrate all that work. See you tomorrow.